This will be a review of the new LG Tone Infinim headphones. This is a continuation of their Tone model of Bluetooth headphones. They start off with the Tone, then the Tone Plus, the Tone Ultra, and now the Tone Infinim. This is their model number HBS 900. And with the Tone Ultra, they partnered with JBL to engineer the sound. With these, they've partnered with Harman Kardon to increase the quality of the sound on the headphones. Inside the box, you of course get the headphones. They also come with a standard micro USB charger. They come with a quick start guide and instruction manual, and then you get 3 sizes of ear tips. For the Tone Infinim, LG has really streamlined the buttons and just put the buttons that you need most of all right on front, so they're easy to access. Now when I review these, I'm going to turn these around so that they are as they would be on your neck, because this would be your left button and this would be your right. So the left button is your call button and the right button is the play pause. And I'll go over each button in a minute, but let me show you one of the unique features on these. All of the previous models had magnets that held the ear tips. These are unique in that it's a retractable cable, and you pull them out and then you would put them in your ears. To put the cords back inside the headphones, they have a button on the inside here, and you would just push this down, and I typically just hold it on so they don't go too fast inside, and they retract back inside the body of the headphones. The ear tips themselves are very light, and I get a really good fit with these silicone ear tips. I went with the largest size. They come default with the smallest size on, so I tried the medium and then ended up with the large. These give really good sound isolation. These are not an active noise canceling headphone, but they really give good isolation, and for a lot of headphones it's hard for me to get a good fit with the ear tips. I have gone through several different models of headphones trying to find some that fit well. A lot of them I ended up having to take back, so my ear size is pretty finicky. So I'm happy to say that these really fit well inside my ears. And I'll go ahead and say one of my biggest concerns while I have the ear tips pulled out, and that is the thinness of the cord. This is an extremely thin cord. Compare this to the Motorola Buds, and you can see how thick this cord is compared to the Tone Infinim. Now I think part of that is because it does have to retract up inside the body of the headphones. So, you know, my concern would be durability. I don't know what the tensile strength of this is. Now the good thing is it's not like a corded headphone that can easily get caught on something and yank them out of your ears. Because there's not a lot of cord, that's not as much of a concern. But this is really thin, and using these, you're going to have them on your neck, and you're probably going to be pulling these in and out quite a bit throughout the day to answer calls or to listen to music. So you know, my only concern again is the durability. So I'll probably follow up this review in 6 months or so and give a long-term report. The neckband itself is not as flexible as the older model of LG Tone headphones, but it is more flexible than the Motorola Buds for any of you out there who may be familiar with these. This is a really stiff headphone. These do flex more, but what's nice about not flexing as much as the older model is that you can lay down on your back. So if you're in the gym doing some bench presses or whatever, you're using these to work out, they typically won't slip off your neck, which the older ones did. Just a brief rundown on the specs of these, and this is according to LG. You get about 17 hours of talk time, about 14 hours of music, and 23 days of standby. These use Bluetooth version 3.0, and I paired these with the Nexus 5, and they paired very, very easily. So I would venture to say that any modern smartphone they're going to pair pretty easily with. A nice feature of these, which also existed on most of the older model of LG Tones, is that you can pair these with 2 devices. And the way that you would do that is you would pair it to the one device first, for example your phone. Then you would turn the headphones off with the on-off button, turn them back on, holding down the call button for 2 seconds as they come on. Then you would pair it to the second device, and then go back and connect the first device, and then you have it paired with both, for example, a phone and an iPad. Let me go over some of the features and buttons on the headphones. First of all, as I mentioned, there is a micro USB charge port. It's on the inside of the headphone. It's got just a little cover that you would pop out to charge them. The on-off switch is on the inside of the right part of the headphone. So you just slide it to the on position. And when you turn it on, you get a light that blinks. And if it blinks blue, you've got a high battery charge. If it blinks kind of a violet color, it's medium, and then it would be red if the battery was low. Also, if you had the earbuds in your ear, it's going to say power on, and it's going to give you the battery level. If you've already had it paired with your phone, it will connect within just a couple of seconds. On the top left of the headphones, you've got your call button. To answer a call, you just tap this as the call is coming in. If you wanted to reject a call, you would hold it down for 2 seconds. It's also got call waiting, so if you're already on a call and you hear another one coming in, you can just hold the button down for 1 second and pick up a call. If you're already on a call and you want to end it, all you have to do is tap the button. If you're not on the phone and you tap this button, it will go into Siri on an iPhone, and if you have an Android phone, it will go into the Google voice dial. So it'll ask you, say call followed by a name or a number. Also, you can do a last number redial by pressing and holding the button for 1 second, and that will redial the last number you had called. As far as call quality, being able to hear someone on the phone is pretty clear, especially when you've got 2 earbuds in your ears. On the other end, I had someone respond back to me, and they said it was not as clear as talking directly into the earpiece. And the volume is lower, so you do have to speak up. And if you're in a noisy environment, you might have some background noise that would interfere. I did test it by calling a voicemail at work in the car, and it was fine. Again, the volume was a little bit lower than just talking directly into the earpiece, but clarity was okay. So again, background noise in a car was fine. Now let me talk about the music features. On the top right, you've got your play pause button, and I really like the way LG designed this one. It's very streamlined. The design is very sleek, and I think it's the best looking model that they've created so far. And underneath it's got the black. But they've put the buttons that you need access to most on the top. On the sides, on the left side, you've got your volume button. And this is actually a slider. So to decrease the volume, you're going to slide it what would be down if it was on your neck. And it doesn't move very much. You just kind of do it over, and it's got 16 levels of volume, and you can hear it beep every time you adjust the volume. It's also nice you can hold it and decrease the volume or increase the volume rapidly. Of course, volume up would be the other direction, so you just slide it up either one time, or again you can hold it. On the right side, you've got your skip. So if you want to skip forward a track, you would just again slide this. You would slide it down, again if it were on your neck, or slide it to the left or up to go back a track. And you can rewind or fast forward by holding it. The volume button has a couple other functions as well. If the music is not playing and you hold the volume to the minus sign for 1 second, you're going to get a battery status alert. So you can actually check the battery level with the headphones around your neck. And like I said before, it's either high, medium, or low for the battery. If you hold it over to the plus sign for 2 seconds, that will turn on or off the vibrate control. So that's very nice I don't believe you could do that on the older models of the LG tones. So you can actually turn off the vibrating feature. And the way that works is when you get a call coming in, the headphones will actually vibrate, obviously if that feature is turned on. And that's really nice if you're in a car or a noisy environment and you may not be able to hear your phone ring. You'll actually feel these vibrate on your neck. So that's a really nice feature about these, and it's a feature that the Motorola Buds did not have. Also, they will vibrate when you get out of range. And these have a range of about 33 feet is what LG says, and I find that pretty accurate. So if you leave your phone somewhere and you walk away from your phone, once you get out of range, these will vibrate to let you know you're out of range, which is really nice because when you use Bluetooth headphones, a lot of times it's easy just to lay your phone down and walk away from it. And as far as actually adjusting the volume, on my Nexus 5, it does not adjust the slider on the screen. It just adjusts the volume. I don't know if it's internally inside the phone, but you won't see the slider move. However, on the iPad and most likely the iPhone, you will actually see the on-screen slider move up or down with the volume. So that's probably going to depend on your phone. Now let me talk about the sound quality of these headphones. First of all, I'll say that they have a built-in equalizer, and the way that you access it is while the music is playing, if you double tap the play pause button, that will switch between the 3 settings of the equalizer. It's the default setting is a bass boost mode. If you tap it twice, you'll go into what they call a normal, which I guess would be a flat equalizer, and if you double tap it again, it'll go into a treble boosted mode. I've found that the bass boost mode is the best. I think they sound kind of flat outside of that. I'll say that I am not an audiophile, but I would say I am an enthusiast when it comes to sound quality, and probably on the border of a budding audiophile. So sound is very, very important to me. I have a few headphones that I compare sound to. One of them is the Dunu DN1000s. This is a headphone that's got 2 balanced armatures and a dynamic driver. So this is a triple driver headphone, and I use these as kind of my standard for a very high quality earbud, just to let you know where I'm coming from. These are about a $200 headphone, and I'm not one that's going to spend $500 to $1,000 on a custom in-ear monitor, but these do have excellent sound, and so I use these when comparing the LG Tone Infinim, and I'm very happy to say that these have phenomenal sound quality. This is probably one of the best sounding Bluetooth headphones that I've used. I did try the Blue Buds Jaybird, I think they're Jaybird Gear Blue Bud X, that's what they are. And those had very, very good sound quality, but I could not get the earbuds to stay in my ears. They were kind of bulky. They kind of had a weird design to them. And even though the sound quality was great on those, I did not keep them because I could not get the earbuds to stay in my ears. Like I mentioned before, the isolation on these is excellent. But these have a very balanced sound. The mids are very forward. The treble is very clear and crisp, and the bass is good. These are not a bass heavy headphone. If you're looking for something that's just got tons of bass, these are probably not the ones you want to go with. But if you want a headphone that is very balanced, these are excellent. The bass is strong. Now, I will say with the bass, as with most earbuds, you have to get a good seal and a good fit. That's why I really like the way these fit into my ears. And it's also why I went with the largest sized ear tip, because I got the best bass response. But the bass is tight, it's not loose or rumbly, and it is a very clear bass. So again, the sound is extremely balanced on these. One of the most important factors for me in sound quality in a headphone is clarity. These have really good clarity, really good detail, really good separation and soundstage. And for those of you not familiar with those terms, separation means that you can really hear the different instruments. You can pick out a snare drum, you can pick out the different strings on a guitar, so the music isn't jumbled together as would be on a lower quality headphone. Soundstage kind of refers to how the instruments sound as if they were spaced out, and these do a really, really good job. Again, I'm going to rate these as the best sounding Bluetooth headphone that I've listened to. And as I mentioned, the DN1000s, these don't have quite the clarity that the DN1000s have, but to most people it's going to be hard for you to tell a difference. For those that have more of a trained ear and higher quality headphones, you will notice that the sound isn't quite as natural or quite as warm as with the DN1000s. But like I said, it's going to be hard for you to pick out the difference. I really like listening to acoustic guitar. I like jazz, and really my genre of music is pretty broad, but I especially listen to a lot of acoustic music, and I really like to hear guitar strings, again especially acoustic guitar, and they really sound clear and crisp on these headphones. So I am actually very pleased with the sound quality of these. To sum up this review of the LG Tone Infinims, I think this is the best model of tones that LG has put out to date. I think the design is really good. They've done a good job of streamlining the buttons so that you have the major buttons on top, the call button and the play pause button. And they've also done an excellent job with the sound quality. Obviously, partnering with Harman Kardon to engineer the sound was a good move on LG's part. So for me, I use these anytime I'm not sitting in one place. It's really nice to have headphones that have excellent sound quality so that I don't feel like I'm compromising when I have to use a Bluetooth headphone. So when I'm just sitting in one place working at my desk, I'll use my wired headphones. If I'm doing anything active, even like doing the dishes, it's very nice to not have wires connected to my phone. It's also very nice to know that, again, I'm not compromising on the sound quality by listening to these. I hope this review was helpful for you. And if you do end up getting a pair of these, leave some comments of what you think of these below, especially for those of you out there who are self-professed audiophiles, and let me know what you think of the sound quality of these. Thanks for watching.